Welcome to Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, presented by Nascar on Fox. And man, did we have a wild weekend at Martinsville. But the guy who made it happen, Ryan Blaney, is today's guest on our Victory Lap. And I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say about his weekend. Well, Ryan, thanks for taking the time today to tell us about your weekend. And I think for me, just knowing what that feels like to be in that position emotionally, mentally, physically, and then to be able to win that race, just tell everybody just what a relief that is and the stress leading up to that, knowing that that's your last chance.
Yeah, I mean, what a great weekend, and obviously through the race for us, it was for our 12 team. And going into that week, it was a long week of, the kind of the heartbreak of Miami, of me giving the race away pretty much from there, and really needing to win at Martinsville and just kind of understanding, all right, hey, we're in this spot and like points through the day don't matter. Let's just try to do the best we can to set us up for the end of the race. And that's what we did. So talk about highs and lows of the sport all the time and talk about going from a pretty big low on the last corner of Miami and then turning around and us being able to do it together as a group. So I'm so proud of this team and never giving up and just understanding what is the goal and how do we do our best to try to achieve that goal. And so it's cool to be a part of a team like that. And I can't thank them enough for always sticking with me.
Yeah. And when you go through those moments of those building blocks of going through the lows of last week and the highs of this week, and then now you go into a championship scenario that you've succeeded at. And I think that's what's happening with this 12 team. Every time I watch it, it's like, okay, we check another box off. We're still together and everybody's still on the same side after Homestead. Now we go to Martinsville and win. And now you're going back to Phoenix knowing that you can win the championship. You've already won the championship, so you don't have to go answer those questions. What is the difference between going into last year's Phoenix race and this year's Phoenix race in your head, just mentally, and how you prepare and the relief that it is already having won that championship?
Yeah, I always think experience is the best thing in anything, really. If you've experienced something, you kind of know what to expect a little bit more. You know how to approach it. If you get fortunate enough to experience, something similar, and in this case, having another chance at a title, you just kind of know what to expect. The week is a little bit different. Last year, I didn't really know what to expect from the week, and you're kind of getting pulled all these different ways, and it's great to do, right? You're fortunate to be able to do it, but I think just having gone through that once, the prep work it takes to go to Phoenix, it's nice to kind of have that behind you, But at the same time, like, once Sunday starts and you get strapped in your race car, it's the same thing. Like you're racing and you're racing mainly just three guys, but you also want to do the best you can. So yeah, I just think that experience is good. And this whole team has been able to have that experience and they know how to poise themselves to rise to the occasion, hopefully. And just do the best job that we can. Like I always ask my guys, and it's just a given now, it's like, bring 100% of yourself every single weekend and through the week, give 100% of your effort. And if it's enough, that's great. Awesome job. If not, at least we know we did everything that we could and maybe it just didn't work out for us. But I think this group is looking forward for another shot. They deserve it. Honestly, I think this group is even better than we were last year. It's kind of gotten overlooked a little bit this year from our ups and downs, from kind of getting in a bunch of wrecks and maybe don't have the finishes average finishes or whatever that this team deserves, but it's been a super strong group, and I couldn't think of anybody else to go to battle with.
How's that dynamic within Penske? We talk about you guys on the speedways constantly. I've seen it in person firsthand as far as the way that you guys work together to help each other as a team internally. Obviously, it seems like you guys have a pretty good relationship, a great relationship as far as the drivers and the crew chiefs and the communication. Does that change at all when you know that you might be racing Logano for the championship, and how do you guys treat that? Is it business as usual, or does anything change during the week? Is there any one-off rules for a championship race like this at Penske, or is it just business as usual?
I like to think it's just business as usual. And to touch on the first thing you said, I do feel like our group at Team Penske, all of us do the best job out of all the teams of working together and communicating with each other, whether that's the drivers, the crew chiefs, engineers, everybody is all in it to try to bring Roger Penske a championship, and yeah, you want to be selfish and you want it to be yourself. And it's nice to have two cars in it. I think the last time that Penske had two cars in it was 2020 with Brad and Joey. So it's nice that you have, some decent odds trying to bring home a trophy to everybody that worked tirelessly on your stuff. So yeah, I just think it's business as usual. We'll help each other out. We'll know where everybody's at. And honestly, like Roger's always told us that, there's really no team rules when it comes to racing for wins or championships, just as long as one of us wins it, like making sure that we don't take each other out and hand it to the other guy. So it's great to have that freedom. But at the same time, we work hand in hand, and that's how we have to do it. Like, we've taken that advantage of having a 3 or 4 car team, and you just build off of each other and you learn from each other. That's what those big teams are for, right? If you're all on your own separate island, like, what's the point of having multiple cars? At least that's how I've always thought about it. So they do a great job, and I think Roger's built that place to be that way. He's always said people are your most important, asset that you have, and you have to use all those people to be successful, and he's done that very well.
Where do you think you are from the beginning of the year to where you are right now, from when you raced at Phoenix last time? I mean, obviously, you guys have done a great job in figuring out the car, getting through the first half of the year. You guys didn't struggle as much as some of the other guys, but I think from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, I mean, you still feel confident that you're going to make that same gain from first Phoenix to second Phoenix like you have everywhere else.
Hope so. I really do hope so. I thought we were strong in Phoenix in the spring. We ran 5th and kind of came from a long ways back to get to 5th. And so I was proud of that. And I feel like that program has definitely gotten better. Our whole program has gotten better from the first few months of the season, just kind of figuring out the new body style of the Fords. And I do think our short track program in particular has definitely gotten better. We've been strong at these types of tracks. So hopefully that carries over. You hope to just kind of blend things that you've learned through the year at all these different tracks, whether it's Phoenix in the spring, Gateway, Martinsville, Richmond, Iowa's, you just try to keep building on that stuff that you learn that you think you make you as a team better. And hopefully we apply that. But it's going to be a tough one. I mean, the 22 and 45 and 24 groups are there for a reason. They're fantastic race teams and great drivers, and it'll be a dogfight. So it's just fortunate that we're part of that fight.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time today, and good luck this weekend. You guys got the momentum right on your side going into the last week. So have fun out there at a bare minimum, and good luck trying to go for that second championship.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.